All right, so I'm going to be working with Atlas in the round pen today. So he's been in the round pen before. I've showed you a video of him before, but we're just going to do a bit more progress, and this is spread out over a few days. So the first day is going to be the 13th. So I'm just asking him to send around me. It's very similar to the lunging. I'm just going to ask with my whip right in the middle of his belly to have him go forward. I'm using a voice cue, so I usually like to do like walk, walk on, and then I'll just go like that. That's his one voice cue. And then when I want him to speed up, I say trot, and then 2 of those. So that's his voice cue to move faster. And I really wanted to work mostly on the canter. And then so as soon as he got into the canter there, I clicked. So I had to push him into a little bit. I'm trying to still play with a way for him to canter without me putting pressure on him. But I really wanted to make the canter more positive. So my canter cues are going to be canter, like it's going to be that voice cue, but very specific. Like I say it the same every time, and it's a bit louder. And then I kiss to him. So that would be like that. And then I would keep kind of using the whip. And I'm just trying to put, like, I really don't want to hit him with the whip. I'm trying to play with more positive reinforcement with him. He needs a lot of confidence building and not chasing. So, but he also wants to be very not forward. He wants to just kind of stand still and stay there. So trying to get him just to like moving out a bit more. So that's why I'm clicking and rewarding him for going forward. So just basically working on this canter. There he gets into the canter, and I will click and give him a treat. Because he walks and he trots really well, and he's really decent at that in the round pen. I just really want to work on the canter. So because you've seen all the basic round penning work in his previous videos, I'm just going to do a bit of desensitizing here and just kind of run through that. I'll fast forward through that because you've seen that. So I've already kind of covered, he knows how to do inside turns. He can walk, trot, canter both ways. He gets very like tense, and he just wants to kind of run in the canter. He doesn't want to stay in it. And I understand that because using the negative reinforcement, it's a bit more of chasing, and then with that comes the tension. So I'm trying to figure out the best method for him going forward into the canter. So I don't want to, at this point, I didn't want to completely necessarily get rid of the pressure of the whip. I do want it to be more of a cue than a pressure though. And the way I'm training it here, there's definitely some pressure still. So, and I've been experimenting with like targeting and going forward like that. So I'm just trying to play with what works the best. And at the time, this is what I was working with. So I might change that in the future. But I'm just kind of playing with this. I'm really transferring more to positive reinforcement. So that was a bit of canter work on that day. This is the 16th, and we're just going to do a bit of the same. So he sends off really nice. He has a nice bend to his body. Like you can tell his walk in the round pen is really quite nice. He's off the rail. He looks great. So he has a nice bend. I'll click him for that. But as I was saying before, I'm really trying to transfer more to more positive reinforcement techniques, but I feel like I get stuck in my negative reinforcement habits sometimes. So I'm trying to mix it, trying to figure out what is the best. So that's what we're playing with here. But I'm going to send him the other direction. So I'm just kind of putting a bit of pressure on his shoulder, and he's just kind of thinking it through, which is good. He was a little hesitant to go, but at least he wasn't super afraid and running off. So, but again, very nice bend this way. That inside hind legs coming up under his belly. That looks great. He's got a bit of bend to the neck. Really nice. So his walk circles are excellent. And he's off the rail. He's staying connected. He's got a nice level neck. He looks great. So click him for that. He did that one lap to the right there. That looks fantastic. Kind of speed through some of him chewing because it gets a little long. And then I'm just going to ask him to go forward again. So I'm just using that whip, just a little bit of pressure on his belly just to get him to go forward. And I'm asking him to walk on and giving him his voice cue to go forward. So my order of cues is walk and then the whip. And I don't keep giving the voice cue over and over again because I don't want it to be doled out. So there I went ahead and clicked him, treated him because he was really stuck there. And then as soon as he took that step forward, I clicked and treated because I was like, yes, go forward, please. So there he goes forward. And then he's just kind of confused here, like, or a little bit sullen up. So I gotta watch that so he doesn't get real sticky here. And that's the whole goal of this round penning is I'm not doing round penning to chase and hook on and join up or anything like that. I just want to work on, he's a little bit more excited now, so that's good. I want to work on those gaits, like free flowing, just, you know, a lot less pressure. So I'll click him for that trot because that looked nice. So I waited until he was done tossing his head around. And then once he had those nice few strides of trot, I went ahead and rewarded him for those. So really for the lunging and the round penning, I do it in stages. So like first he'll do a couple steps, I'll click and treat. And that is for the walk, and then I'll do like a quarter lap, half lap, whole lap, and then I do another half lap and add until you're up to however many laps you want. And I do the same thing in the round pen, but I do it at each gait as well. So we do it at the walk, he can walk a couple laps, then we do it at trot, can he trot a couple steps, and then we build up, and then the same thing with the canter. So like in the previous day, this video, from this same video, the day before when I was round penning him, he only cantered like 2 or 3 strides, a few strides, and then I clicked to him because I just wanted him getting into that. And I do that with multiple other horses, and I have to edit those videos, but they'll be coming out and you'll see the same process, but with different horses. I just want him to go forward and not, you know, be so tense and not be worried. Just like going forward is fine. So there I was trying to get him to be a bit more forward, asking with my whip. There we go. And then I'll click him. So I was asking him to go forward into the canter. He just wanted to do a bit of a long trot, so just kind of swing my whip at him, and then he hopped into a canter. So I probably should be a lot less demanding with my whip and more so just have it up and kind of swinging and not touching with it, because I feel like that's probably putting more pressure on and adding to the negative aspect of it, the tension part, and that's what he's holding on to. So I'm going to try to make this a bit more positive in the future. But this looks really good. I just asked him. So he's just too much there. Like he's getting better about it. He's not racing into it, but he's definitely got a bit too much energy, and not in like a good way. Like he's very tense getting into it, but he did go into it on his own. And now he's kind of walking off, and I didn't ask him to, and I'm just going to ask him to go the other way. And he's in his mind, like he's not being bad. I asked him to go forward. I rewarded him for going forward. And so he's like, well, I'll go forward. And then he just keeps wanting to go that way. So I'm just like, no, let's go the opposite way. So all I'm doing is redirecting him. So he was like, oh, I'm just going to keep going this way. And then he's offering me the trot. So in his mind, he's just kind of stuck on going forward because that's what I've been reinforcing. So no problem with that. And there we go, into the canter. So that was better. Like if he's going to offer it to me, I will take it, because I want him to just go forward and think of nice things at the canter and offer those behaviors. Then I will definitely let him, and then I'll go ahead and do a bit of desensitizing. But that was quite good. So move on to the next day. So this is quite a while after the other videos. This is the 30th. So just kind of working on the same things. Again, his walk circles look really nice. And he's wanting to kind of stop and be like, is this enough? Is this enough? Like, I'm okay with that. Like, he's thinking about me. He's thinking, like, how can I, do something to get a treat? Like, I'm totally fine with that. So he's not stopping and demanding. He's just checking in. And his trot circles look nice. He's probably a bit more tense than I would like, but this looks quite good. So I'm not mad about this at all. So click him there. So he had a couple good laps there. He's off the rail. He's bending through his body. I'd like a bit less tension where he's kind of throwing his head a little bit, but definitely an improvement. And you can definitely tell from the previous couple of clips that he's definitely trotting longer and getting better at it. So, and I'll send him off. He's not getting stuck anymore. He's just going right into the circle. Again, nice bend, nice low neck set. So he's really got the walk down. The transition looks really good. I'll click him there. That looks nice. So I kind of mix it up. The other one, he did a couple of laps. This one, I was like, okay, I like that trot. So we'll do just a half circle. But just be careful that you don't get stuck doing like the same thing. So you don't want to always do like a half a lap. And you're just like, oh, always a half a lap. I clicked at the half a lap because it was a nice trot. So if they give you a very nice gait or a slower gait or some change that you were looking for, I would click and reward that. But overall, you're looking for more duration really, and quality duration. So I'm looking for, they're very nice canter, so I'll click in for that. I'm looking for like multiple laps. So my goal would be like he can trot around me both directions like 5 laps. So I would build it up. So he's at 3 laps, then I'd ask him for 3.5 laps, 4 laps, 4.5 laps, 5 laps. But I don't want to click all the time for, you know, a half a lap or for 1 lap. I want to build it up and then vary it. So if my goal is just he can go around me for 5 laps, like sometimes if he has a nicer gait, I'll click that part or that part, but don't be, he offered that all on his own and then he stopped on his own. I was like, no, we're not quite done yet. But you don't want to be always doing the same thing and then your horse just stops after a half a lap because that's all they're used to. So, and he was getting into it very nice there. That looks good. He's a lot more energetic in it, and he didn't need any of my whip. Like he's just going right off of the voice cues, so that looks really nice. But you want to keep it unpredictable. And I also like clicking and then not feeding sometimes. So like this is what I want, but not always getting a food. Just so, not necessarily for Atlas, but for, this looks really good too. And I didn't ask him to stop, so I'm not going to punish him. No, I'm not going to chase him. I'm just going to say, nope, can we just do a little bit more? And this goes back to why I wanted to vary it, is because that looks very nice. So I clicked that because that was a really nice canter. Because you don't want the horse to stop every half a lap or whatever you've been clicking and be like, okay, where's my treat? So if you vary it more, then they're paying attention to you, but they're not just stopping on their own or doing stuff on their own. So in the beginning, I'm fine with that, with them stopping a little bit or offering a behavior, but over time you want to really fade that stuff out. So this looks nice. There we go. And he's up to like a nice little half lap there. That was pretty good. Yeah, you can definitely tell the progress through these couple of clips. So I thought that was pretty cool because these are just all the times I round penned him in March. So I thought that was pretty cool, but we'll fast forward. We do a bit of desensitizing afterward. I didn't really use my whip a lot, but just make sure he's cool with that. Let him relax there. He's licking and chewing, so that looks good. Not too bad. That was pretty great. Do a bit more desensitizing, and then we'll end the lesson for the day. Really good.